You're listening to Tuesday Drive with Steven. It's Shoalhaven afternoon delight. From news headline to traffic updates, your commute home is complete.
And it's 27 to 6. This is Tuesday Drive, and that was Tanya Doko there with Piece of Me, and that was 8th position in Eurovision Australia Decides. And do you recall the name? Tanya was actually the lead singer of Bachelor Girl, who of course made buses and trains famous all the way back in 1998. So what did you think of that one? Should they have made it a little further up the Australian Eurovision ladder? Well, you've still got time to share your views on 44221045. Now, many of us are probably aware of OMEGA-3, and even if we don't know what it means, or perhaps what it does, we certainly know the words. It's often advertised in magazines and television, telling us the wonders that these fatty acids do for the body. Well, two professors from the University of Wollongong have been a little more interested in its effects on the human body than you or I, and so much so that they've got together with Corrective Services New South Wales. Now, joining me now is the lead researcher, Professor Barbara Meyer. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you going?
Good, thanks, Professor. Now, let's begin with OMEGA-3 itself. What does it do, and why is it so important to the body?
Okay, well, OMEGA-3 becomes, when you consume it, it becomes part of every cell in your body, and it primarily concentrates in the brain, and it's a vital fatty acid required for normal brain functioning. And it allows us to be able to think and communicate effectively and make decisions and so forth.
Now, primarily it comes from fish, doesn't it?
It does.
And can you get it from other ingredients as well?
So fish and other seafood. It's also in smaller amounts in meat and eggs.
Right.
But by far, it's the highest concentrations in fish and seafood, and particularly the oily fish like salmon and mackerel and tuna.
Ah, okay. Now, tell me about this study that's being undertaken.
Okay, so this study is a 6-centre, multi-centre trial, of which South Coast Correctional Centre is one site, and we have 3 others in New South Wales, Macquarie, Wellington and Lithgow, and we have 2 sites in South Australia, Yatala and Port Augusta. And this study will show that the supplementation of OMEGA-3 on aggressive behaviour in adult male prisoners.
Right, so what's prompted you to include the South Coast Correctional Facility when you've got these others as well around the place?
Well, we included the South Coast because we did a pilot feasibility study back in 2013, and we did that study actually at South Coast Corrections, and so we wanted to go back there and include them as one of the sites.
And how many people are going to be included in this trial?
We're hoping to recruit 600 across the 6 centres, so roughly about 100 per centre.
Okay, and how does it actually work? What do you actually do? Do you just give them like an OMEGA-3 tablet and just sort of monitor the effects?
Okay, so before we give the supplements, we're going to assess their levels of aggressive behaviour by going through. They have recorded case notes per inmate, and that records all incidents that occur in the correctional centres. And we're going to convert those case notes to a score, and it's going to be a rating from 1 from indirect aggression up till 5 for physical aggression. And those inmates with a score of 1 or higher will be invited to participate in this research. Once we've identified those people and they've said, yes, we want to take part, then we're going to do some baseline assessments. So they're going to complete a lot of questionnaires, but also provide a blood sample. And then they're going to be supplemented for 16 weeks, and at the end we're going to do the same measures after the 16-week supplementation, i.e. the questionnaires and the bloods. Now, previous research has shown that nutritional supplements, including OMEGA-3, have reduced the number and severity of reprimands by up to 35%. So we're hoping to show a reduction in aggressive behaviour, but this study is the first study that looks at the blood levels of omega-3.
And so is this all done at the South Coast Correctional Facility, or is it actually taken back to the labs at UOW?
Oh, to measure the omega-3s, the blood samples will be transported back to my laboratory here at the university, yes, because it's a specialised test.
Now, these particular inmates, if they are shown that they have these high aggressions, and you're saying that they're being invited, they obviously can, I presume, say no, we don't want to be a part of this. Is that right?
Oh, of course, of course. We have to obtain informed consent, and they do have to consent to taking part in the research, and if they don't want to take part, they don't have to.
Now, if it all goes according to plan and you get the results that you want, in the long term, what can this mean?
Okay, well, this is part of a National Health and Medical Research Council partnership grant where we have to show translation into policy and practice. So assuming we show efficacy, then we're going to develop a framework for national incorporation of dietary supplementation within the prison systems, and this will roll out nationally. So that's what we're hoping to achieve in the long run.
And how long do you think this will take?
Well, we're going to do per site, we're going to do 2 cohorts of 16-week intervention for the 12-month period, and we're hoping to get the other 3 New South Wales sites on board mid-year this year, with the 2 South Australian sites on board next year. So it's going to take about 3 years to complete all sites.
But it'd be fair to say that you've sounds like you've been interested in omega-3 though for the last 3 or 4 years though, haven't you?
Oh, more like 20 years.
Oh, 20. So I don't have much time left, unfortunately. So why have you always been so interested in this?
Well, every time I give a seminar or talk about omega-3s, people always say, why do you, here she goes again, talking about the health benefits. And basically Australians don't consume enough. And that's why it seems to be a magic pill in terms of, correcting suboptimal levels of our intakes. And
I'll just quickly, do you like seafood yourself?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I was born in the Netherlands, and I grew up eating fresh herring straight out the sea, and I love seafood.
Oh, okay. I can see where the love comes from now, that's for sure. Well, look, thank you so much for joining me today, and best of luck with the research. We'll be very keen to see how it all goes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure. That's Professor Barbara Meyer from the School of Sciences at the University of Wollongong. And I wonder what your omega-3 intake is like. Do you take supplements? I'd love to hear your thoughts. 4422 1045.